How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with Crowler time in the form of Mortalis Brewing. It is their Tears of the Goddess. This is a boysenberry and black currant sour IPA. It's been a while since I've had a sour IPA. A lot of people have been doing them. They've been essentially popularized. The words are hard sometimes. Popularized by Hudson Valley Brewing out this way on the East Coast. They're pretty much, they're not the first people to do a sour IPA, but they're the first people to do the kind of fruited, sugary, sweet, tarty kind of sour IPA. Being that this is fruited and has a whole bunch of stuff going on in it, I'm guessing it might lean in that direction, but we're going to find out. Mortalis, this would be my fourth beer from these guys. My buddy George, George from Massive Troll Reviews, he brought me back a pale ale that was quite killer. Subsequently, Paul from Mortalis was like, hey man, dig the reviews. Threw me a bunch of beers, not necessarily for review stuff. He's like, just appreciate the review, but you know me. I'm OCD. I can't review stuff if I've never had it before, so let's dive in. So, Mortalis Brewing Company. Let's see. We have Tears of the Goddess Boysenberry and Black Currant Sour IPA, 7.6% alcohol by volume, and that be that. Livingston County, New York. They're probably about like half an hour south of Rochester, right around there, I think. Label-wise, it's actually a cool logo. I dig it. Crowlers are nice. Let's see what we got. Ooh, okay. Well, that would be a fruited sour. Yeah, I kind of expected that, but yeah, get that off my hands. This stuff can get quite sticky, so let's see what happens here. Hopefully I don't pour like a dumbass. Or like a super dumbass. I essentially pour like a dumbass every time, so yeah. God damn, man. That'd be bright. Look at that thing. Dirty Glass Mafia. It's been a while since I've had an overt Dirty Glass Mafia. I'm kind of peeved about that, to be perfectly honest with you. I've been washing my glasses pretty religiously in a specific manner, so I haven't really gotten it so far recently, but yeah, I mean, look at that. That is rich, kind of raspberry, red berry, kind of dense. The head looks like Strawberry Quick. It's just, old school Strawberry Quick. What else do I have to say? What else is that color? Taffy? No, not taffy. What's that stuff? Cotton candy, maybe? Or what's that shitty stuff? That tequila rose. You ever drink that shit? Don't. That shit's horrible. It's like an alcoholic drink, and it kind of looks like that, too. So there you go. It looks like it has berries in it. Yeah, that's my professional opinion. So I'm totally a professional. Let's get a nose. You get like an unripened, like center of the berry core, slightly seedy, spicy kind of fruitiness. It's not over it. When you look at this beer, you expect this explosion of fruitiness. You're not getting it. But what you are getting is very organic, very real. There's not much as far as synthetic sweetness in there. You get a nice sweetness to it. There's a soft tartness to it. Definitely not going to be an overt acidic kind of sour. It's going to be more kind of very light, kind of kettle sour Berliner style, if anything else. So you get that soft berry vibe. Very generic. I'm not getting your boysenberry or anything specific like that. You're getting a soft tartness, a soft sweetness, a little bit of like almost like a grainy maltiness. That'd be that. Done and done. Let's dive in. Cheers. Okay. This is an actual sour IPA. It's a fruited sour IPA. And by that I mean it tastes more like a dry hopped, non-overly sweet, non-overly residual sweetness IPA with a tart sour factor to it. So you definitely get the tartness in there. It's nothing too big. It's enough to let you know you're drinking something that's on the funky side of things. I shouldn't even say funky, more tart. The graininess comes off like a cereal graininess, which I actually like in my IPAs. Sometimes it can be a little off-putting for people, but it kind of works for me in here, especially with that kind of berry component. Now, I kicked this off with saying that smell, the nose I got from the beer, more specifically the fruit portion of the show, came off very organic, very real. It comes off like, and I'm going to say this in a positive way, this is not a negative, it comes off like crunch berry, like from Captain Crunch cereal. Maybe that's the cereal grain thing from The actual grain bill kind of fuck with my brain, make me think of crunchberry. But there's bad synthetic, and there's something that can be kind of not organic jamminess and also be cool. And that's the way this kind of lands for me, especially in the taste. It's definitely giving me this kind of crunchberry kind of vibes to it. There's a nice bittering component to it. You need it. There's a decent amount of sweetness in there. It's not overly sweet. There's a decent amount, so you need to balance it off a bit. And that's pretty much it. It comes off. It's cool. I like it. I dig it. It's fun. It's giving me those kind of cereal vibes, both from the grain bill and from the fruit portion of the shows. And it gives you that nice sweetness, but balances it off with that nice bittering component, which is a descriptor in it. There's something about it that I want to talk about, but I can't place it, and I don't know what it is. And it's really fucking annoying. Rarely happens because I just talk so much, but yeah, I don't know what it is. There's like almost like I keep leaning on the food side of things. It almost comes off as like the filling of a baked pie. Because the more I drink it, the more I'm getting like a rich, sweetened fruitiness. So you get a nice kind of blueberry pie. I couldn't tell you what a boysenberry tastes like, actually. I can tell you what a currant tastes like. Maybe that's where that little tart kind of spice, not tart, that little spicing component I keep attributing to hops. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of that from the currant too. But it's giving me those kind of pie filling. Like if you ever, I've never been a big crust guy. I've never been a big pie guy, but when I do eat pie, I like my kind of more like richer blueberry, raspberry, blackberry kind of pies. And it's kind of giving me the pie filling vibe from that. So I'm getting that kind of cereal graininess maybe instead of cereal and your kind of crunchberry thing, go kind of pie crust with a little bit of kind of pie filling. And adding that currant in there to kind of take another level to the flavor and give it a little bit of kind of earthiness, a little bit something beyond just that sweet fruitiness, and then add the hops on top of that to add that little bit of bittering. It's a fun beer. It's cool. Is it a crowler full of a beer for me? Like, I'm by myself tonight. One of the crack a beer. I open this up. This might be a little bit much for me. To drink a whole crowler of to my head. This would be split between 4 or 5 different people. That's just me. I really don't go super gaga over the fruited sours like a lot of other people do, but I like it. It might be maybe the best way I could describe my appreciation for it is it's not a Hudson Valley sour. A lot of people have been trying to do those and trying to replicate that stuff and going the sweet tart portion of the show. Or they're trying to do their own thing and missing the mark. Like it's almost like they're trying to do the opposite thing or something different than what they're doing for the sake of doing something different. And they're making okay beers, but they're not really hitting the mark. The amount of fruit that had to go in this and to present the way it presents is fun. I just dig it. It tastes like a sour IPA as opposed to a super hot beer that happens to be sour and let's just call it a sour IPA. And the way it plays, from that graininess coming off like crust cereal like to the way that fruit comes off, kind of pie filling, kind of crunchberry like, appeals to me. So I like it. I dig it. It's not going to blow my doors off. It's not going to make me kind of be like, oh my God, this is like the craziest beer I ever had. But I like the take. I like the cut. I like the swing. And I think it's pretty fun stuff. Pretty tasty. I dig it. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better sour IPAs I've had as of late? Yeah, actually, outside of the Hudson Valley ones, which I said I like it because it's not that. There's very few and far between that I've had that have really turned me on. And this is one of them. So that's pretty nice. Value availability, no idea. A brewery only, I believe. And leave you with, if you like what, will you like this? If you like fruited beers, if you like tart beers, if you like hop beers, if you like pie crusts and filling, or if you like crunch berries and cereal. If you like inventive, creative beer. You're talking about a small brewery trying to do something other than your hazy. I've had, a couple hazies from them. I've had some, smaller ABV stouts, and now some fruited stuff, and all of it's been better than average, and that's being modest. So for small breweries to be taking the swings they take at these kind of styles and not just resting on their laurels, that in of itself, a little bit of an applause. So if you like beers, creative beers being made by people that obviously give a shit, it's worth tracking down. there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little fruited jammer right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.